Chelsea College of Arts and Design, University of London, UK. She also attended the School of Media and Communications of the Pan-Atlantic University, Lagos, Nigeria, for various media courses, which include the advanced writing and reporting skills, communicating ideas, TV, film, and video screenwriting for TV, film, and video. She has a dynamic 23 years enviropreneur career spanning landscape, ecotourism, photography, horticultural and environmental management, project development and management. She is the founding executive director of the Earth Shield International Foundation, an environmental NGO with the objective of promoting sustainable business operation and lifestyle, climate adaptation, creation of green parks, and green jobs for young people. She is a fellow of the Women Leaders for the World Program 2017 of the Global Women Leadership Network, GWLN, in California, United States. Her hobbies, interests include photography, information acquisition, networking, aerobics, reading, writing, traveling, food, fashion, music, cooking, dancing, golf, and mountaineering. All right. I think we have said it all. Please let's make welcome Dr. Jumoke Kazeem. Thank you very much. Don't mind me. You're welcome, ma'am.
I've done a bit of mountaineering. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and congratulations on your successful hosting of the AGM today. I'm happy to be here today. So please, can we have the slides on? Yeah. So I'm going to be talking about sustainable businesses and lifestyle. I'm a sustainability consultant, and we focus on sustainable waste management and sustainable agriculture. So and the most recent effect of climate change that we're seeing is the serious flooding that we're experiencing. And this is making a lot of things that we usually are able to plan to not work the way it used to work. So like for the farmers, the effect is the fact that they can't plan. In the previous years before climate change, farmers can plan with the rainfall. They can actually farm with the rainfall. But now it's not possible because the rainfall pattern is changing. And if you go and plant and it doesn't rain when it should rain, you get to lose a lot of things. So that's how it's very devastating for agriculture. So the resulting changing weather pattern is global warming, and the effects are devastating. The main effect is the greenhouse gas emission, and it's basically from energy used at home, from the office, from the factory, and from transportation. Others effects are from mismanagement of waste, water, biodiversity, and deforestation. So the way we cut our trees is one of the ways that we're losing out, because oxygen stock, which we get from the trees, we're losing a lot of it. So the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, they've been addressing the issues and trying to come up with a world deal on how to curb this devastating effect. And what we need to do is to commit to reducing carbon emission by 20 to 30% by 2030. So the carbon emission comes from the activities that we do, from all our activities, and basically it's from wastage. When we waste a lot of things, some of the things that we do, we waste energy, we waste water, we waste the waste, because waste has a second life cycle. Most of the things that we use have a second life cycle, and so we're supposed to recycle or reuse or reduce the way we generate the waste. So if we're able to reduce this waste, we can reduce our carbon emission in some of the ways. So a lot has to be done by individuals as well. So the UNFCCC agreed that member countries should acknowledge and make effort to reduce the greenhouse gas emission and that should not rise more than 2 Celsius. This was acknowledged, and that we need to stop business as usual so that these catastrophes coming from the effects can reduce. And this requires that citizens of the world should commit to voluntarily reducing their personal carbon emission. And that includes Nigerians, because we are a signatory to this part. Corporate organizations and the government should commit to reducing carbon emission in all their activities, and also engage in clean development mechanism for their activities, businesses, and projects. So for the engineering sector, there is a lot to be done in the designs that you do. There are certain things that you have to do to also make sure the houses are compliant. There is sustainable designing to make sure that maybe water can be recycled. You can have water being collected, rainwater being recycled, that can go, instead of wasting, it can go into flushing, maybe a particular tank that will pass it to the toilet bowl so that the water can be collected and recycled. There's a way to also collect such water for washing in the sink in the kitchen so that you don't waste water. Then there are products that are being released to help this situation to work. For instance, they said WC that uses only 3 liters of water per flushing. What we currently use is 6 liters of water. But because in Nigeria we don't pay per use for water, it's a bit tough to make this happen. When we start to do that, in some areas in Lagos, the Lagos State Water Board, they buy token just for the prepaid meter for electricity. They are using that, I think, in Surulere and some other areas. So for those kind of areas, it will be effective. And then there are some private estates. I know of Foreshore in Lekki. They buy token of water. They buy token for water. So you buy a token of 10,000 naira for water. It may not last you 3 weeks. So such products will be very, very useful. So you can manage the water, and then the engineering for usage of water in the house, you can do it in such a way that water can be managed so that water wastage is reduced. So how water is contributing to climate carbon emission is the fact that electricity is used to produce the water to be useful. So when you are wasting the water, you are wasting money through the electricity that was used to make that water to be useful, because the water has to be treated, chemical has to be used to treat the water to be useful. So there's a cost into that production process. So when you are able to manage the water, you don't waste it. We waste water in washing cars. It can be done better. There's a product that uses 1 liter of water to wash a car. Yes. So it's done in a way that it goes with speed, and it's with force. So it uses less water and cleans the car quickly. So there are products like that, but the problem we have in Nigeria is the fact that most of these products, they are not produced in Nigeria, and we all know that our currency, the currency exchange rate is really very steep. So it makes those products to be very expensive. So that's why most of them, we can't use them yet in Nigeria. So for every product, for all the areas that we contribute to carbon emission, is the fact that the cost of making those products useful, when you are wasting, you are increasing the cost. So like for paper is manufactured from tree. The process is, tree is cut in the tree, in the forest is taken to the factory. There is transportation, there is diesel or petrol that will be used to transport it from the forest to the factory. There is a lot of process that will go into converting it to pulp. There will be energy use, there will be fuel, there will be labor cost, until it's now ready to be used in the industry or in the offices. So when that paper is recycled, the process is that the ink in the paper will be washed off, and then you have the paper now reprocessed. So, but you're not starting from stage 1, which is cutting from the forest. So you will have cut off maybe stage 1, 2, 3. You are starting from just cleaning the ink off the paper before you make it useful again. So you have saved money from that first 3 process. So that's the benefit of recycling or repurposing product. So, and this goes for most of the products that we use in the houses, in the construction industry. So it is why it is advocated that we reuse, we recycle, or reduce the waste. So in the process of using things, we should learn, we should have a mindset change to reduce waste, to reduce how we use resources, so that we can conserve, and then we can reuse products. If it's still okay, if you just need to maybe refurbish or something, we should try as much as possible, not all the time be throwing things away. And then we should make an attempt to recycle, so that we can cut off the carbon emission that is associated with the first virgin production. So let me move on. So the carbon emission in developed countries, they have already set in motion activities to reduce carbon footprints. Our carbon footprints are the carbon emission that we create in the way that we use things. So it's counted as carbon footprint. When you fly in a plane, the carbon footprint of that plane flying is shared on every passenger. So you all have carbon footprint of a particular flight, and it's enormous. So for every activity that we do, we all have carbon footprint. So it's advocated that we should make effort to reduce our carbon footprint. So carbon footprints in developed countries, they are being calculated and disclosed. They have disclosure laws, so that for every sector, there is a limit that has been created, that for manufacturing, maybe for bottle manufacturing, this is your emission cap, maybe 20 emission cap that you have. And if you surpass that emission cap, you pay a fine, or you pay a CDM fee, which will be used to create or to support a project that will add oxygen stock into the environment, which will now offset your excess. Oxygen stock is to add extra oxygen to counter your excess emission. So what really happens is that the meaning for the climate, the global warming, is the fact that we have excess carbon in the system, which is causing so we have excess carbon emission that causes, yes, it causes depletion in the ozone layer. So when we plant extra trees or support projects that increases oxygen stock, it helps to balance that situation. So in the developed countries, they have carbon disclosure law, which is strategically becoming more sustainable in the activity, so that they can measure their progress. They have carbon emission disclosure laws that ensure that organizations measure and disclose their carbon footprint. And there's a set limit for different organizations, depending on the type of business. So they have emission cap, over which you have to pay to offset the excess. They have laws in place to make emitters pay for their excess carbon emission, or buy carbon offset to balance what they emit over the emission cap, so they can be carbon neutral. So carbon neutral is when your emission is at balance with what you are allowed for your industry. So this payment is usually to support any project that will emit oxygen, that will offset the carbon emitted in any part of the world, since carbon and oxygen are in the atmosphere and not enclosed in one country. So the most widely certified emission reduction projects are deforestation reduction and reforestation projects, called RED, reducing emission from deforestation and forest degradation and afforestation. certified carbon reduction projects earn carbon credits. Carbon credits are therefore being traded already in the US, Australia, and in Europe at 88 euros per ton. So there's what we call carbon registry. So if you are supporting a project that is a carbon offset project, you can actually earn money for it, because now carbon is being sold, carbon credit is being sold at 88 euros per ton. So it's in our interest to actually do projects that will reduce carbon emission and increase oxygen stock. You can earn money for it. So we need to get there, and we have to make efforts, and your industry can do something about it. So we have to make effort, do support policy or create policy, or get the National Assembly to create the policy that will make this happen for us. South Africa has gone as far as implementing carbon disclosures law for organizations and about to start enforcing the emitters pay law. Last year, Lagos State government, they had this summit on environment in July, and it was discussed that they want to start emitters pay, polluters pay. But I don't know when they will be able to start it, because a lot has to be done. People are not educated about this thing. You need to inform the people. You need to educate people. We have a lot to do to change people's mindset and to let them see the benefit. When people can see the benefits, especially in monetary terms, it's easier to get people to change their attitude to all of these things. In Nigeria, not much has been done, as majority of the people don't even understand that the whole climate change is all about. They don't know what they can do to reduce their individual emission. There's a need for the government to educate the people more. Organizations also need to educate their people to reduce their impact on the environment, and we can have a ripple effect to the homes. So we have Green Biz Audit. It's a trademark product of Nature Safe Consulting Limited. That's my company. It's developed to meet this vacuum and need in our country. It's designed to train organizations and our people about sustainable living and lifestyle, which will positively impact on individuals by way of attitudinal change. It entails complete sensitization about climate change, how individuals and businesses can contribute to its effects, and how they can reduce their individual excess carbon emission footprint or offset their excess emission and its effect on the environment. So there are products, there are a lot of products to help us to achieve this. So like I said earlier, the whole summary of climate change is the fact that we are wasting a lot of things. As soon as we start to have that mindset that we need to reduce how we use resources, we need to manage resources, we need to stop wasting resources, then we can reduce our carbon emission, because that's just the summary. So there are products that help you to sort your waste from source. When you sort the waste from source, it's easier, because now it's easy to reuse the product and then get further value from what you already have, and then carbon emission can be reduced. So these are products that reduce, that help you sort waste. This is baling machine. It helps to compact cardboard paper so that it reduces space. You reduce space for transportation, and of course that translates to the number of travels that waste will need to be taken to the destination for recycling. So all of these waste help to reduce the waste. So there's baling machine, there are different sizes. There's bottle crushing machine. When you crush bottle before you transport it from where it is generated, you reduce the hollow space that takes extra space, and then you can pack more in whatever container you are going to use to carry it to the destination where it's going. This also works for PET bottle. The first baling machine works for PET bottle. This can bale paper, it can bale can, it can bale the PET bottles, so that you reduce the space and then you can carry more. That helps reduce the number of travel to take it to the destination that it will be used. Then organic waste. We all generate organic waste. So when you sort your waste from home, you sort organic waste separately. This machine, what it does, it converts organic waste into compost in 24 hours. When you do the traditional composting, it takes, Who can tell me how long does composting take? When you dig space and then you put the waste, who can tell me? No, it's more than that. Secondary school agriculture. Come on, guys. Try to remember. Agriculture, secondary school agriculture. You dig space in the backyard and be putting the waste. And then you put a stick so that you come and remove it and check the heat. And then you turn it over. So that will take, the process takes about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. But now technology has given us a machine that can convert this into compost in 24 to 48 hours. And you have that texture. And then you can grow vegetables at home. You can have organic food at home in your backyard. And there will be no smell. There will be no space for rodents to stay. No cockroach. And then it means we have complete the food loop. The loop for the food. The food loop is completed, meaning nothing is wasted. Because normally you mix that waste with all your food waste, with can, everything, and then it goes to the landfill and it's lost forever. You have no use for it. Methane will be generated in the landfill. There will be so much smell all over, disturbing everybody, pollution. But this is a big solution for that. We don't have to have waste and smell around us. You create your own compost at home, and then you can just create your garden at your backyard, and then you can have organic food. You can just go and pluck your ugu and make your porridge. You can pluck your ewedu and cook. You know, fresh, no fertilizer. Your health is going to be the best for it. How is that? Okay, so there are a lot of companies who be using this, of course, abroad, and they are saving a lot of money because now they don't have to pay for waste disposal. Now they earn money because if you bale your paper, there is a company who can buy it. A paper manufacturing company can buy it because now it's neat. It's not mixed with waste, organic waste. It's in a neat order. It's compact and it can be weighed. You can see how much it is. And it's easy for the person that is going to reuse it because it's in a neat form. And it's neatly packed. They can see the value in it. There's no organic waste on it. The PET bottles can be used for something is in a neat situation. It's not mixed with dirt. So that gives it extra value. And so you can earn from your waste. You don't have to pay Loma for your waste anymore if you try to adopt all of this. But a step further, there is another machine that is created. It's called the TK250 machine. This is it. This one converts all plastic to the original product. It converts it to diesel and gas and coke. And then there's a biofuel generator that will convert the diesel and gas to electricity. And it can convert 250 kg of plastic to 1 megawatt of electricity in 1 hour. How is that for energy in Nigeria? 250 kg of plastic to 1 megawatt of electricity in 1 hour. In 24 hours, you get 24 hours electricity. How is that? Yes. So, and it works in a campus system. I mean, if you have like a big estate for like 400 households, this works perfectly because it generates about 8,000 megawatt per annum. And then for maybe manufacturing company that can use up to that energy, I mean, it's really perfect for them. So plastic, we all know that plastic does not degrade easily. It takes about 900 to 950 years for the PET bottles to disintegrate, for it to decompose. The PET bottles that you have in front of you, it takes about over 900 years for it to decompose completely. Yes, that's fact. But here is a machine that can help you convert it to energy that we really need so much in Nigeria. The plastic production amount to about 350 million metric tons per year. Only 9% of the plastic is recycled. 91% are stored or left in the nature. Burning of plastic produces very harmful emissions. Storing of plastic is not effective, and it's insoluble. The accumulated available plastic waste amount to more than 6.7 billion metric tons, creating massive environmental and logistic issues. No sustainable solution for this problem has been found until now. Mixed plastic waste like PE, PP, PAPS, and polycarbonates has an average energy content of approximately 40 megajoules per kg. Expressed as electrical energy, 1 kg of plastic allows a Tesla car to drive more than 50 kilometers. Therefore, 1 ton of plastic contains equivalent of 4 megawatts of electricity. At the moment, this energy potential is barely used. The accumulated available plastic waste contains more than 1,500 terawatts of usable energy. Each year, a potential of almost 800 gigawatts can be uncovered thanks to the conversion of plastic waste into energy. High-tech for sustainability. How to solve the waste problem? Our technology works in a closed, continuous operation system. Without chimney and emissions, input waste is divided into elementary pieces, and new chemical bonds are built to generate oil, gas, and carbon. The system has a modular concept where each module requires only 150 square meters of space. Per hour, one module transforms 270 kg of mixed plastic organic material waste into 1 megawatt of electricity and 3.6 gigajoule of heat energy. Furthermore, coke used in the steel production is also generated. Preferred processable input material are mixed plastic and rubber waste. So we got appointed as country representative for the TK250 machine in June 2021. This machine converts all plastic waste to diesel, oil, gas, and coke. The diesel, oil, and gas are then converted to electricity by a bi-fuel generator, and the coke is used as fuel for fireplaces, for steel production, or as briquette for grilling or barbecue. We are also country rep for the B Energy Biodigester cooking gas system, and Niagara Conservation, makers of ultra-high efficient toilets, which flushes with 3 liters of water since 2017. So there's a system that you can also have waste from animal food, waste from animal, especially cattle. You can convert it to energy for cooking gas. So there are 2 ways to this. It can either be bagged like the lady carrying it, or it can be piped, which falls into engineering side. So you can either bag it, like people can buy this, and then they can use it for cooking. This is the system. This is the outdoor system to mix the digester, and then they create gas, and it can be piped to the house. This is the storage for the gas. So it is not a liquefied gas system, so it takes more in the space. And it generates bioslurry, which can be used for farming. This is the Niagara high efficiency toilet that flushes with 3 liters of water per flush. And so these are the people that we are working with. So I just want now to come to our personal sustainability. How are we treating ourselves personally? Personal sustainability is going to work, because it will cause a problem, another problem. You are trying to run away from something, and then you create another problem. So we should likely not focus on solutions that are going to compete with food. So there are several researches going on. There are a lot of products that are coming out. I think it would be in our interest to choose what is best for our situation and that will not compete with food. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I didn't know that we could spend a long time being taught on carbon. Just that carbon there. But I'm looking at it in this way. We seem to be thinking of carbon dioxide as a problem. Now, we need carbon dioxide for trees.
Yes.
And what is happening is that possibly is because the carbon dioxide is going into the atmosphere and then what it does is to bring a greenhouse effect. Have we thought and are we thinking of one, maybe finding something that will attract and retain the carbon within ourselves so that our trees can use it for their photosynthesis? Then the second thing I'm saying is water now, people are now bringing water from the atmosphere. They are collecting water from the atmosphere. Is it possible that we collect carbon dioxide from atmosphere and then from there find a way of making storing it and making a better use of it? I know it will not go with all those things you put forward, but it might possibly improve on some of the things that we are thinking about. Thank you.
I'll pass it on.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation. My name is Engineer Oluma Sharafaddin. I think I happened to get a wind of how Finland worked their waste management system. It's a source of revenue such that they hold the young, the rich, the poor. They are all babambolas there. Because the more you are able to, deposit your waste in their smart bins, the more you earn. There are a kind of linkage with even their bank account. The kg you deposited, you clock in your biometric data, your fingerprint, and automatically it credits your account with the worth of the waste you have deposited. So Finland employs no cleaner, even on the street, in the homes and all wherever you. So this sort of machine you mentioned, it could have been a better option if people naturally will be earning by cleaning and saving and recycling some of this waste. So I wouldn't know how it will start, but really that's the best option, and I believe Nigeria will benefit more from such a system. Thank you.
Thank you for your information. So there's a reverse vending machine. Hello, sir, I'm responding to you. There's a reverse vending machine. We know the vending machine that you buy Coke and you put your money in it. So there's one that has the vending and then reverse vending. You can put your empty bottle in it or empty can, and then you get a point or reward. So that's going to come with that machine. So it makes it easy to mop up all those waste bottles and pets and cans. So that's going to be possible. But these machines, they're not here yet. You know, the environment is hostile. If you want to bring something that has to do with energy, you have to tread carefully. Otherwise, I'm sure we know what I'm talking about. So we have to tread carefully. So we're notifying us that it's available and who can bail the cats. Let's see, maybe the next government will be able to bring it in, but we really have to tread carefully. Yeah. Any other question or comment? Okay. Thank you very much for your audience. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, madam. I think we all need to be quite involved because whether we like it or not, that is the direction of the world. And we need to be thinking about it. I know we have had a good time, and now it's time for the buffet, for our dinner. So if you would allow me to okay. So we'll invite our president, Engineer Ajibade, to give the award plaque to Dr. Jumoke. Thank you.
Dr. Jumoke Kazim, if you ask me outside that can a real lecture be given for carbon credits, I will say maybe 1 second, 1 moment. But you have given us a full discourse on carbon credits, including sophisticated machine. One of my people on the table said that you have to check all the food we are eating to give us what type of carbon credits we can take for them. So you have done well, Doctor, and we thank you very much. This is. I thought you want to clap for her. Somebody just did want to. So on behalf of the council and membership of the Association for Consulting Engineering in Nigeria, Acen, I would like to present this plaque to you for a job well done, and also to say that you said the machines are not yet here. Maybe we need to get in touch when they come so that we will consider it. The one that gives, that last one, I think is of interest to many people. So thank you very much for this very, very enlightening. I think it's okay like that. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You took everything away from me. Now there's no cover. Well done. All right. Okay.
So it's dinner time, so we need a little bit of protocol. So we start from the table on the extreme left, and then the middle table, and then that table, and then we go like that and like that. Okay? Yes, we have to be. So shall we? Did you hear me? So from that table, can we just go for our dinner? And from the 3 tables in front, yes, please. The 3 tables in front. Yes, led by the president and the president's madam. Yes, please. So, and also Dr. Jumoke Kazim's table. Please, can you go to the... President, sir. Mm-hmm.